G'day everyone, it's Warren and Colleen from NQ Explorers. Today we're out on another bush adventure at the site of an old abandoned Outback farmhouse. This site, I believe, dates from around the 1890s. We've found relics around the World War I period. I'll show you that in a minute at the back, where I found that unfit for service badge, which was a First World War relic. So this is the site. Bit cool today. We're up in the high country here, and there's a bit of an easterly blowing, so not much sunshine, but we'll still enjoy our day out. Got some nice lunch packed. We'll have some hot tea later on, and we'll just go for a walk around the old ruins, and I'll show you what's here first. Okay, let's walk in and have a look. We've got a bit of wind here today, so hopefully the audio's okay. Obviously, water tank at the rear of the house. Front gate, two big hardwood posts. Some gardens out the front here, out the front of the house. And there's more gardens in here. This is probably our third visit here. I think I've only made one video here so far, but you can see here the remnants of some rock, just native rock garden edging. And over here, where the house was, the stumps that foundation stumps remaining. It was, as you can see, it was only low set. It wasn't a high set Queenslander. Would have been a Queensland style home with the big verandas, but not up high, because it's not so hot up here in the mountains. The reason they put the Queenslanders up so high is you get the breeze underneath in the subtropical climate. But here we're at quite an elevation. I think we're about 700 metres, so it gets quite cool in winter. Yeah, water tank for drinking purposes. I don't know, there's probably 8,000 to 10,000 litres of water there, whatever that is in gallons in the old days, so that's all they had. Get plenty of rain in the wet season, but lengthy periods where you get none in the dry. Now, out here, that's the back, so this would have been like a lawn obviously. That's the back gate out to the back paddock. There's actually an old stockyard down there. Some about 200 metres further out in the paddock. So this is the backyard of the house where the clothesline would have been. Around here somewhere I found that volunteered for active service, World War I, but was unfit for duty. And it had a number on the back and identified it to an individual who was the farmer here obviously, or one of the sons of the farmers who lived here. I'll put a picture of that badge up in the top right hand corner now if I can find a shot of it. But that's I can't find that again because I've already dug it up. So this is the back gate out into the paddock. Well, there's a stockyard over there actually. It's only about 50 metres away. Some old shade trees. That one looks like it's passed away. Over here, got a bit more infrastructure. Got bolts on poles and all sorts of things. I mean, fence lines that are all fallen down now. So we'll have a scratch around here. And there's actually a dam down in there, you might be able to see it. They had plenty of rain, so it's nice and full. There's an old mine not far from here. We'll go and have a look at the old mine too. So we mightn't turn much up here today, but it's going to be a great day out. A little bit of blue sky busting through there. Let's get into it. Okay, this is what I'm using today. I've got a Garrett AT Max. Sensitivity I've got on 7. I've got 30 points of iron dialed in. I'm on custom. And I've got a Nell sharpshooter core, which is a 9-inch double D, I believe. Colleen's got a Garrett 5x8 DD on her Max, and this is the way I'll set it up all day. It's quite a bit of iron here. I'll leave it on 30. If I'm not finding it a lot, I might drop that back and see if we can dig some iron up, like, a couple of old horseshoes or something. That's all good. Anyway, here's my first target. It's only a mid 40 signal, and it's a 22 hull. Just out the side of the house. Okay, we're on the board. Next target, more shooting related paraphernalia, 303 round. I'll see if I can get a head stamp off it. As you can imagine, a lot of shooting went on here. 1890s, early 1900s, was very isolated. Still is actually. So shooting for your own food was definitely the way to go, to supplement whatever you got from the shop in town when you went in there once a week or whatever, once a month. So yeah, that was a 68 solid repeatable signal. Okay, Colin's got a report over here. She hasn't dug it. Over near the, she's drifting around near the lander over there. She's got an 85 signal, which is a very high tone. I think you can get a lot of 22s. There's a little spot back there, I'll show you what I think it is, but I'm getting a lot of 22s around this particular spot. But Colin's got a good target coming up here potentially. No, that's a sweet little signal. Very compact, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 8.
You'd probably be able to pinpoint that with the pro pointer.
It's 15 centimetres down. So.
Oh really? Oh yeah, but it might be very small. It's going to be a silver coin.
Well, I don't know.
See if you can pinpoint it without digging it. It sounds like it's.
A lot of bullets, but they've sort of been in the 40s. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that won't be.
Oh, it's on top there. Look at that. Sunbaker virtually.
It's well done. You've got a sunbaker. Yeah, pick it up. That's just sitting in the grass.
Come have a look.
I know the GoPro's. It's clearly an old penny, eh?
Yep.
That is awesome.
It's hiding under the leaves.
Oh, well done. Oh, I love those. I love those old pennies. And that there, other than the leaf litter and the recent rain, was a sunbaker. You could tell that was a sharp, compact signal, couldn't you?
Yes.
Can you see a date?
19 something.
Is it a kangaroo? I think it is from here.
I think it is. I can see a tail. I think that's, yeah, that'll be the tail.
Nice work.
Could be 44 perhaps.
Okay, well, World War II.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a 1944, but I don't think we've had too many 44s. We've had 42
Millions of 43s.
and 42s.
Yeah.
But you can see the edge on it. It's really quite good condition underneath there.
Yeah. I'm going to suggest that was a new drop. Look, we're in the middle of nowhere basically. There's no reason to believe there'd be a lot of coins here, but you know, people have holes in pockets.
Yeah.
In this example here, well, we're outside the front gate.
Yeah.
Could have been where a car pulled up or a horse and buggy. I mean, there were still plenty of people using a horse and buggy in the 40s. So, yeah, nice work. One thing to think about when you're metal detecting is physical barriers, and I'm guilty of this myself. That's the old back gate, and there's no fence there now. And this is probably our third trip here, I think. And I've been guilty of just detecting this backyard because we found some great stuff here, like that old badge, the unfit for service badge. I didn't go beyond that gate. I was mentally restricted to the backyard because I thought this is the treasure trove, that's where the clothesline is, or whatever. But that's a choke point. The farmers and the farm workers went through that gate to go to work. So they walked through that spot every day, many times a day, and fanned out into the paddock maybe. But I've just gone beyond that and I'm getting targets. So you got to think about not being too restricted by the infrastructure that is here. I mean, that gives you a clue to how to read the site, obviously, and from a relic point of view. And if you're in an urban environment, don't forget that the physical remnants don't necessarily represent what was there, you know, 150 years ago, because this could be the second or third house on the site. We don't know. But, you know, if you can bust through those sort of physical barriers and just keep going, find out where your spread of relics is, put your iron on so you can hear the iron. You want to know how far the artefacts go, and once they start fading into the distance, well, you can probably come back this way. But I just thought I'd mention that personally I'm guilty of following fence lines and being restricted by old fence lines, where really you should be pretending that's not there, really, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's have a look what we found here. Here's my next target. It's a nice 68, an old shoddy base. More shooting related items. Colin's got a nice penny over there, but I haven't got any coins yet. You can see the head stamp on that. Old subtitle that, eh? And we might be able to date that. Like I said, the relics we're finding here are kind of early 1900s up to the First World War. But the house is obviously still here in the 40s because of that coin that Colleen just found. Okay, I've just busted through this gate I've been banging on about into this, what I'm calling the back paddock. well, perhaps it was just a small yard at the back of the house before the main paddock and the old stockyard down there, or what you'd call in America a corral, I suppose. And I've got a relic here that's nothing exciting. Brass, it's an old hinge. So that indicates there was some kind of infrastructure out here. Maybe a shed or something. That looks like it's an old door hinge maybe, or a cupboard hinge. Not sure. Another rifle cartridge. I'm having a big day on the ammo. Oh well. Let's take a walk down and have a look at this old stockyard. Just built of bush timber, obviously. There's no sawn timber. There would have been a sawmill in the district, but proximate to here, I don't know where. I love this kind of bush engineering that people put, like it's just all 8-gauge wire and bush posts. Great stuff. It's only a small yard. Could have been just a loading yard for cattle. And you can see the fence line in the distance there in that back paddock. Yep, 8-gauge wire, bush poles. Awesome. I mean, they still build them like this. The old bolts as part of the gate. This galvanised wire lasts a long time. Here's an old gate here, look at that. That's sawn timber, but it's just been done at a bush mill. Oh, there's a nice little bit of, well actually it could have been a sheep yard, eh, with those little palings there like that. I don't really know. I don't know the history of this farm. I know who was resident here, but I'm not sure if it was, because cattle and sheep were both tried in this area. I mean, it's predominantly cattle now, but there are sheep around in the area. Yeah, that old tree's taken out a bit of that picket fence. Look at that old iron hinge. Nice. So yeah, this might have been a, well, there's no loading ramp, but it could have been just a holding yard for stock on their way to the market or whatever. I'm not really sure. Okay, we're in the domestic area here at the back of the house. I thought this was a homemade item, but it looks like it's been machine punched. That's quite symmetrical, isn't it? Some sort of shaker lid. Don't know what they're shaking out of that. Too big for salt, I'd think. But I'd say it'd be some sort of maybe kitchen condiment. Not really sure. I just got an awesome relic here. It was a solid 82. Should have done a live dig, but alas, I didn't. Let's have a look. I've been getting more rifle rounds here and shotty shells. So there's been a bit of shooting. Well, that makes sense. Towards the dam, maybe the roos come down for an evening drink. Well, they would do, and they're shooting at some food. But anyway, got a lovely 82 repeatable here, and look at this, lovely old bit of Australiana from the farm. It looks like it's a shot halfpenny. It's been hit really hard and splayed out the back. Look at that. Boy, these boys. I mean, most of these. Well, they're all war veterans. First World War and Second World War. Have a look at that. He's taking that coin out big time. That is a good shot. We don't know how close he was, but nice work. Let's get it up close and we'll get a date. We'll see when this poor thing was shot, or the era in which it was shot. Okay, there it is up close. I think it's a penny. It's just smaller because it's distorted. 43, I think. They made 63 million of these pennies, so there's lots of them around. We've dug a lot of them up. But obviously a bit of marksmanship going on during World War II, or just after. Okay, it's nearly morning tea time. I'll just delay it 15 minutes. Let's see if there's more change that's been shot out the side of the farmhouse here. Let's go and have a look at the dam before morning tea. Nice bit of water in here. Oh, last time I think this is bone dry. But we've had so much rain this wet season. It's just beautiful. Of course, this isn't maintained anymore. It was probably a supplementary water supply for the farm when that water tank ran out or got low, or the water tank would have just been used for drinking water, obviously, and bathing when they had enough of it, but maybe they pumped this up to the house. Well, I haven't seen any pipe work up there, but could be. You can see this gully here. It hasn't got a great catchment, this dam, but it shows how much rain's fallen in the last couple of months, because it's sure got plenty of water in it. There's some pigs been digging around in here too. They make a mess of this country. Wild pigs. Of course, there are people with shooting licenses to get rid of them. Yeah, look at that. Well, you can go for a swim in that now. That's a nice old dam. Well, it's at least 100 years old. I don't think it's associated with the mine that we'll go and have a look at later, but I would say this is the farm dam for, you know, watering cattle and things. And but the kids had a ball in here swimming here in the summer like this when it had water in it. But it'd be a good place to set up a hide at night, or just on sunset, and watch the wildlife come down and have a drink. Kangaroos and wallabies, occasional emu, red-bellied black snakes. They tend to hang around these water holes. But at least where the red-bellied blacks are, there's no browns. So we've seen plenty of red-bellied blacks in this area, not today. It's a bit cool for them actually, I think. We're getting into, well, it's autumn now, we're getting into winter. But that's a nice bit of water actually. Be a fair bit of depth to it too. So it's going to be well into the winter, won't be too much more evaporation. Anyway, let's get back to digging up relics. Let's see if we can find the 303 that inflicted the fatal wound on that poor old coin. I mean, when you talk about isolation in Australia, when we talk about isolation in Australia and we travel into the outback, and actually you don't have to go far from the main urban centres to be remote and away from people in Australia. It's a great big island with not many people on it. Most people don't appreciate what true isolation is, and not even Australians. I think we're just about the most urban country in the world. Despite all this beautiful country we've got out here, not many people go and look at it. But I mean, you know, the survival situation, 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Well, there's plenty of air, don't worry about that, but there's not much of this. And it's critical, and all the old stage routes and all the old settlements were based on water sources, as they are anywhere where the humans expand into inland areas. But this is a real luxury. That's a lot of water, and that would have you know, been a godsend for the people that lived out here, and they needed that to survive. Because when you think about where we are here, the nearest town is about 50 kilometres, what's that, 30 miles away? Now, in the Land Rover, what did that take me? Half an hour, 45 minutes. Track's a bit rough, but anyway. How long did that take in 1900 in a horse and dray or a sulky or on horseback? You're not going to go into town every afternoon for a bottle of milk. How long did that take in 1860 on foot with a wheelbarrow when they were mining this area? I mean, it's just incredible what we can do these days with the luxuries we have, compared to the hardships that the old timers faced. They might have to camp on this waterhole for a week, shoot a few roos for food, and then move on, hoping that they can find the next waterhole to keep going. That's how it worked, especially with the explorers. But anyway, I love seeing it. Seeing water in the bush like this is awesome, and it doesn't stay there long. I will come back here in October or November, and that won't be there probably. But anyway, I just thought I'd share this beautiful spot in the bush with you. It's just a beautiful spot. There's no one around. Just Colleen and I for miles. The old water tank and a few coins to keep us entertained. It's just awesome. Here's my next find. I think it's stainless steel, but it's an off switch, obviously off an old tractor. I'd say that's off an old tractor key, or it wouldn't be off a car. They didn't have off written on cars. I think it's more likely to be a machinery based item. Little steel hinge kind of arrangement and off punched into it. Nice. Well, this is getting interesting. We're in the shooting gallery. I'm not far from that shot coin. Now I've got a shot cartridge. They've obviously sat that up on a log and shot it. That's not a bad shot. I wonder how far away he was. Pretty sure it wasn't 300 yards, but nice work. Okay, we're back at the Land Rover morning tea. Yes, it is a 43 kangaroo penny. Fatal wound through the heart. George the 6th on that side is not looking real good either. Anyway, that's awesome. That along with the shot round, maybe they're teaching the kids how to use weapons. Who knows what they're doing? But anyway, nice. Okay, time for a bit of lunch. Haven't got the angle today, we've got the little esky and silverside and pickles for lunch. And a bit of cheese too, by the look of it. Nice. Okay, this is quite an old relic. It's tin, obviously, but it's an old Star tobacco tin. I think it's Star brand, Sydney, Australia, and it's got the 7-point Star of Federation that's on our flag. That's an old tobacco tin, that one. That's late 1800s from my knowledge. I could be wrong. I could be corrected there, but that's probably the oldest relic I've found here today. Of course, it was identifying as iron, but I could see it in the grass. So you see these out west in the old ghost towns from, you know, the late 1890s type year, 1880s. Star Tobacco, Sydney. Righto, time for a live dig. This area, there's some shards of ceramic out here. I'm outside that back gate again, but have a look at this signal here. Really tight, 86, 87. Now that's not going to be a rifle round. So, as you can see, I haven't disturbed the ground yet. Let's go over to the pick and pinpointer. Hopefully we've got an exciting find coming up. Well, actually what we'll do, we'll pinpoint it first and see how shallow it is. Ooh. Okay, move some of this deadfall. Just take it easy here. See, this is pretty loamy down here. Oh, okay, I can see it's an old brass lid. And it's a great signal. Never mind. That's quite old actually. Squashed thin brass. Right, I will take that. Well, where I got that lid, there's a little bits of ceramic and glass around this old tree. There's nothing like a rubbish pit we've discovered yet or anything. There is one complete screw top bottle I left in the grass back there, Kiora sauce, I believe. But that's probably 1940s. Up here on top of the ridge of the houses, it's probably just too gravelly to, you can't be dumping your rubbish here, or the night soil. I think I know where the long, well, it might not have been a long drop because of the rocky soil on the ridge line here. They might have been using pans, I don't know. But it definitely wasn't a flushing toilet with a sewer system. The interesting thing about this house is you can see the water tank in the background and Colleen on a dig there somewhere. This house isn't here obviously, but it may still well exist. The beauty of the old timber Queenslanders is they can move them, and maybe when the family finished on the farm, they moved the house into town. Like in the 1800s, they did that on a bullock dray. They cut the house in half or quarters and took it on a bullock dray and put it back together. By the 1950s or late 40s, when this was taken away, no doubt would have been on a truck or a motor lorry, as they called them back then. And it may, like I said, this house may still exist somewhere in town. Wouldn't know where to start researching that, but it's possible that this house may still be lived in somewhere, because there's no evidence of left, just the foundation stump, so it's gone. There's no beams, there's no iron, there's nothing. No, there's not even a window latch or anything like that, so the whole thing's gone, which is great. It's the beauty of the old timber Queenslander. Okay, Colin just walked off a relic and left it in the grass here for us to look at. Oh yeah, oh, it's just sitting in the grass. It's an old, boy, that's done some work, hasn't it? It's an old sledgehammer.
It's just lying there, so I picked it.
Oh, Colin's flipped it over. Oh, look at that. Man, it's paid its dues. Wow. She's done some work around the farm. We'll just leave it here, where it belongs. Well, I'm back at the old water tank. We're probably going to have a bit of lunch and head out. There's a bit of weather coming in. It's not going to stop us getting anywhere, but it's just going to be cold and wet. Had some good finds in there today, considering that we've been here before. I love that old shot 43 penny. Colin got a beautiful old semi-sunbaker there right at the start. Got tons of ammunition, which we didn't show you all of that. A lot of shoddy shells, 22s, 303s, as you'd expect on a farm. Been a fun day we've had in the bush here. Thanks for watching, and happy fossicking. Bye for now.